Okay, probably pushing a little bandwidth there. Oh my goodness, and the flipping what's it's all almost let's put the power supply lead into the laptop for been off the what's it for an hour or two. Um, anyway, this is going to be a very short video, but now I've made it long because I've just got to charge the video battery up a little bit because I'm kind of curious. I'm curious. I had a program. I used to have a Spectrum program. I got a video of it, and the 2000 was here. It was just below 0 dB at 60 hertz, man. Just below 0 dB. This guy on another video, he's live videoing now. He's testing with a sound generator to see what the audio frequency bandwidth is on the radio, like how low down does it go and how high up it goes, like in, you know, so like when you measure amplifiers and audio equipment, you know, typical with my modern day ones might have a frequency range from 5 hertz up to 40,000 kilohertz. Yeah. To 40,000 kilohertz, where only the dogs, cats, and the pet bat can hear those frequencies. But that just says the ad, you know, this amplifier can do this range. I suppose that people might be thinking they're going to try and give us hypersteroid, and it's going to improve our vision, or generally, I suppose, our mind, as well as our visual and our auditory. So our auditory actually really does extend down into infrasonic, and we can hear those infrasonics easily without turning up the gain level and the amplifier level and EQing up the level and putting in a sub bass speaker that can handle that frequency range, and then the high range. Yeah, until we've evolved and we got hearing range up to the range of a pet bat. Oh, that's not going to happen for a long time. I don't know why they put these, you know, because, you know, and then all this sample recording of CDs and movie mixes and going up to 90,000 kilohertz. I guess what's the purpose for anyway? I just got to wait for the battery just to charge up a little bit until I can move it around. Or anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to connect just a simple bit of coaxial cable for audio. Yep, it's still copper. Anything that can pass and conduct an electrical signal, and I'm going to connect it to the CB radio speaker output, very Frankenstein with a crocodile clip, a crocodile clip, and then connect it to, and then get the signal to pass through, and I'm going to connect it then into the THX sound system's amplifier input, so it won't blow the computer up. So I can have the audio passing out from the CB radio and then going up and then onto the computer and then onto any one of the software audio programs, REW, Room EQ Wizard,
True RTA or better, or Spectrum Lab, where Spectrum Lab was designed for radio astronomy as well as radio, and well, because it is radio, and has found a use in for seeing how low down frequency can go in movie soundtracks. But as for how high a movie soundtrack goes, that usually really does stop at around about 20,000 kilohertz. They don't go any more higher than that. Or at least
This mic is from 50 hertz to 15,000.
Just listen to this other dude talking about what he's doing. He repairs radios. Yeah. So I know when I test a frequency sweep and I'm monitoring on the THX sound system, so I could get so the signal can pass through, and then I'll get a frequency graph so I can check every channel, left, center, right, surrounds, sub bass, or I can unplug things and then connect it up to the overhead surround output. I'll probably see the same thing, same frequency response. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for this just to battery charge up a little bit. Then I can move it around a little bit because I've only got about 15. I think it said 15. Let me just unplug it. Ooh, yeah, it's a bit red line-ish almost. Not sure what that says. Probably like only 15% on the battery. Yeah, so I'll just plug the charger back in. So I can't move the charger thing around unless I had a long extension lead for the charger, and I can move the laptop thing around. I can't live stream on the phone. Otherwise, I could have moved the phone around. It would be a little bit more easier. Mobile. But I've been wanting to do this now because I've been curious of what is the audio range. What does it display? I mean, I could turn the radio on, even though connected to a JBL. Because if I use the stock speaker that's inside the radio, it sounds very hollow and harsh and resonant because it's just a metal box with a speaker that's a little bit smaller in the size of that, as well as it's very shallow as well, whereas the speaker for the Control 5, the bass mid, is about that deep. And then, of course, you've got the tweeter, which is probably about that deep, but a bit smaller. I don't really notice much on the high range on the tweeter. If I put my hand in front of it and then away from it, I notice some of the highs being, I'm cutting off some of it, and then, and then, of course, got the treble. And I usually have the treble boost turned down, the tone low and high. I usually have. Yeah, I'm curious about that as well. Like, because the radio is outputting signal noise, like pink noise, white noise, I should be able to see on the True RTA or the Spectrum or the Room EQ Wizard. I should be able to see where the high frequency is boosting and elevating and then going up and then going down, up and down. I should be able to see where that is. But I should generally be able to see the frequency range because, I don't know, it sounds like to me, it sounds like it's not narrowband pink noise, the typical narrowband pink noise you get on an AV receiver, and it put out a test tone, and it's just using narrowband pink noise rather than full band wideband pink noise, which is what you should use to test, because then you're only testing a little bit of the range. All the rest of the high frequencies are going to be totally rolled off and you're not going to notice them. because they're down here while everything else is up here. And then all the rest of the low frequencies are rolled off. So you got to use I don't know why they build those things into AV receivers, and yet a Dolby CP500 has got a test tone generator built in, and it does sine sweep, multi-tone, or they call it Dolby tone, which is a series of sine waves, tones, going from the lowest, and it goes up and up and up. And I think they're spread out around third octaves, or a little bit more wider than third octave ones. And so you can see all these series of frequencies. You're like, and then you got pink noise tone, and you got wide and narrow. I think you got there's a narrow pink tone, pink noise on it, and a wideband pink noise. Yeah, built into a CP500. Wow. I don't use it that much now because I only have to use the REM, because the REM can do that and just a little more, So, but this guy's been testing the radio with the sound oscillator tone generator. So going from the lowest frequency that he can hear up to the highest that he can just hear, and so But I'll just stick it on the RTA and I just want to see the actual display. So every time I go on the radio, I'm going to know it's got this frequency range. It's not going to have anything more above it or anything more below. I did ask the question: could a CB radio go down to 20 hertz? He said no, not quite possible. I'm a bit skeptical about that myself, but I'll see what the RTA shows, what the RTA will show, or what the Spectrum Lab will show. And I would have to mess around with the Spectrum Lab settings, but I probably won't use the Spectrum Lab because I usually primarily use it for low frequency checking. And if I wanted to use it as full band range, which can go up pretty high, mind you, I would have to go into the settings and then input the data information parameters to give me that range. And then I've got to remember, then go back to put it back the other way to so I can check for movies low frequency. Of course, when you go on sideband, you got to modulate, and you could put a sine wave. I could put a sine wave into the sideband and see where the needle's going, and put it up close to the speaker on a laptop or what, and I could see where the needle's moving. And then as it gets down lower in frequency, the level, whether it be on the power booster or the radio itself, I could see where the needle's going, and I know, there's not much energy there, and it needs a boosting to raise it up. I think there's a way to sort of boost your signal on the radio so it could stay at a sort of constant level, because when you're modulating, that is talking, your speech pattern frequency is going up and down, up and down, up and down in frequency. And sometimes if someone's talking a little bit softer level on the sideband, and it's like a little bit, you got to really strain to listen, particularly with that sort of signal noise in the background. It's a little bit SAM. That's sideband, upper and lower, sounds the same. FM, oh, that's bloody loud. continuous wave or CW or carrier wave. I don't know which is the real word, carrier wave or continuous wave. Yeah, that's totally different signal noise ratio. And then FM, AM, upper, lower sideband. Turn that anti-noise blanker on because there's a bit of noise on the AM as usual. Is there anyone out there at this hour in the morning? I don't think so. Yeah, that's a sort of like a signal noise with station repeater. And I'll move the KC. Sounds like R2D2. No, there's no one on the sideband. It's quiet. Try the low band. Just typical signal generating noises. And try the high band. If I go channel 19 FM. I don't expect anyone to be there. Not at this hour. But you do get earwiggers, you know, people that listen, you know, you've got a CB radio. Keep on listening. But sometimes something will come up on maybe the mid band or the high band, maybe on the FM or on the single side band. Now I just got to wait for this battery on this laptop to charge up, and then I can move it around. But I'll show the coax cable I'm going to use. I was going to use another type of cable, you know, anything. I would even try string and then rub it with Vaseline to see if it can conduct the electrical signal through it. But I'll just connect. I only need to connect one lead. I don't have to connect a positive or negative. I only need to connect one connection from the positive output on the radio speakers with a crocodile clip. And this is a bit of long coax, mind you. And then just connect it up to the amp, undo one of the terminal blocks on the THX sound system, and then just wire up that, and then just go to the room and just see leave the radio on, and then just see what I can see on the spectrum analyzer. I won't keep it very long once I start doing that. And of course I'll move the battery thing into the room, but I want to move this over to there. I could theoretically do it now. I only have to connect the battery. Bear, will you stop scratching the carpet? I only have to connect the WASIT to another power input plug. Okay, untethered. Bloody cat fur. I like cat fur. Okay. There. He's attacking the cable. Put the laptop there. plug it in.
So that's the microphone going right into the monitor, from the monitor radio right into the computer now. 1, 2, audio, 1, 2, audio.
Okay.
3, 4, 1, 2.
Yeah, turn the switch on.
Audio, 1, 2, audio.
Okay. So it's still charging up. So I'm near the rack. Theres no way I can blow anything up because it's just simple audio wattage, voltage coming out the back of the speaker thing. You know, just like any other conventional amplifier. Magic, down, Magic. You can knock things over. You're knocking things over.
You will not even notice the difference when you turn that up and down.
You stay there. So I'm just going to go to and connect up the lead with a crocodile.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, audio, 1, 2, audio.
So I'll just use a crocodile, rah, or alligator in the sewer. Alligators in the sewer, rah. Useful these are. Oh, need my head around tight. Need my light. Yeah, it's a bit quiet on the modulation on the other end. Oh, he's still on, isn't he? Oh. Okay. Whoa. Don't like that. I don't. Fucking hell. I hate this strobe light effect on this bloody thing. Oh. I didn't need to use that because I already had crocodile clips connected to a 3.5mm jack lead connected in the back of the radio, and then connected it onto the cable, and then I just pushed the alligator in the sewers into the speaker terminals on the JBL. So I already had an alligator there, so I've only had to undo the positive lead and then connect it to. So I'm almost ready. I've just got to turn all the system on. Okay. So what I have to do now is just connect one of these up, undo the terminal on the flathead. Oh, yeah, better be careful with the ampage. Could be a slight possibility of overload. Magic. 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 You're being fed. Gotta use the letter. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing, because the input output boom, boom, boom. So I need two wires connecting, so it goes to THX input, one on the HF and one on the LF. So it sees two signals. Magic, you've been fed. You had pizza the other night. Before I go and undo everything, just mark that cable so I know where it goes back when I've done this project. So that's HF. That's HF. That's HF. And do the other wire. Does that go? Does it round that way? That's the LF. That's the LF. Low frequency. LF, okay. So where those go? I need a short little wire to bridge onto the LF and then one just put into the HF, because otherwise the can it do both? I'm just trying to think. THX frequency division. I'm not using frequency division, so theoretically I really should only need to connect that one lead. Because it's not using any frequency division, but I'll just connect it up to the HF in a moment and see what frequency looks like on the RTA. So connect this up. Okay, that's connected. I'll plug it in. Oh no, here goes nothing. Oh no, rest in peace, THX. Bang! Theoretically, I should be able to go to the actual THX sound system, turn up the fader. I should hear noise. Ta-da! I amaze me myself sometimes, but you know, I can't take all the credit for this. So that's the actual CB radio going into the THX sound system. I always thought the THX had a classic look like a Cobra 148 GTL DX. So I know that works. So I could go and look on the computer. I should see a frequency response, but I think I might connect up the other lead so it's connected to the LF input on the amplifier return. So, because I think it's only picking up like half the frequency bandwidth from what I can hear. So I'll just undo and just undo that, and then just take a short lead and bridge it, sort of bridge a lead over. I had a piece of wire here somewhere. I had a piece of that stuck on the other alligator clip. Put that in there, put that in there. Get in and tighten it down. That's that. Put that over into the LF. If the pink noise or if the signal noise from the CB still sounds the same, then yeah, it's probably got a limited frequency range on the Magic. What the heck are you doing? Calm down. No, it still sounds the same. Of course. What am I thinking about, Marty? Undo that. I don't need that connected. Why? Because I got dementia. Because I'm not really frequency. I've got the amplifier input return. Depends on whether the signal from the. Yeah, my cat's growling. Magic's being tormented by the bear. Yeah, that's the bloody sound I should hear anyway, for crying out loud. All right, let's take the computer to the. I'll just undo this. It should be enough. Yeah, there's a little bit of voltage in the on the battery. Yeah, okay, bingo. I've got signal, got frequency response from the radio. If you bear with me, I'll go to the CB radio, and then I can look at the video on the playback later. I'll just go on, say, the AM, and then go on the single side, and then go on any of the single sideband, the USB. I don't want to confuse people with USB because then they'll think it's a computer. Upper sideband. So I'll just put it there. So that's just generally the frequency noise I'm seeing, the sound. So it's got a peak round in the 1K range, and then it's rolling off. It looks like a band filter or something. And there might be high pass and low pass filters. I don't know. I have to ask someone. So I'll just go and modulate. Yeah, come on. So you would have saw that. I didn't see it because I wasn't here, so I have to look at the video on the because I'm kind of curious what the modulation frequency was. Like I did a few like and and sort of know it sounds on the single sideband and on the AM. So that's it. I can unplug that now, so you know. So, but it is interesting. But yeah, it's like what Tom Holman said about the THX sound system. There's one like it over there. It can do everything. He's absolutely right. Let's see what's on the low. Let's see if it's got any sub bass. No, can't hear anything. But yeah, I wonder if it's got a high and low pass filter on the radio because it looks like it's like looks like one of those typical bandpass sort of, or narrowband. That's it, narrowband. Looks like a narrowband. And radio's radio, isn't it? Shouldn't it be? You go on FM radio on the whether it be FM mono, FM stereo. It's going to have a frequency range, isn't it? Not just playing music, could be anything. A sine wave. Of course, they would test all the radio stations. They will test all sound generator tones and everything, and power output and all that, and so forth, and everything, and see if everything looks okay, whatever. But yeah, I was surprised to see that. And anyway, so I could turn the video off now. So it was a sort of successful test. So I know it's got that sort of frequency curve. Right. Was that? Oh, I forgot. Did I? Let me just. Did I switch to AM and FM? I forgot because I was on single sideband, wasn't I? I'm on the sideband, aren't I? Yeah. So I'll just switch it over to AM and go and look at the frequency curve. I forgot about doing that. Oh, what does it sound like actually on the radio? On the THX? Yeah, okay. Actually, it sounds better on that speaker. Well, it sounds good on the JBL Control 1. Oh, the frequency curve is a little different. Bear, you little cheeky cat. My cat Bear's trying to get behind this projection screen and he's forbidden. This looks a little bit different. Looks a bit different, a little bit different-ish. I'll go the way, go to FM. Bear, get out. Oh, out, Bear. Ah, that's on FM. Yeah. So what I forgot what I was looking at was the differences in signal noise ratio. So if I went to the CW carrier wave, continuous wave, the signal noise that would be different, but it's just rised up higher. So if I turn the volume down on radio, the signal will go down. It's just because the signal noise is louder on FM and it would be less on AM and it would be a little bit more less on single sideband. But looking at the frequency curve here, it's rolling off. It's coming up to about 8 kilohertz and maybe 9 kilohertz, maybe possibly 9 kilohertz, and going all the way down. It's getting down to 100 hertz. That there's just a little ground issue snag on the, I've got to figure that one out. It's not a big deal. It's only a 50 hertz boom ground snag, but I can see it going down. If I scroll the, keep thinking it's a touch screen. Just change the, yeah, so realistically, it's sort of like going up probably to maybe 9 kilohertz, and then it's just flattening out. But as to whether it can do low frequency, I'd have to put a sine wave in. Maybe through the microphone, but microphone's going to have a frequency response on itself, so I'd have to use a direct input. But I'm not going to do that for this demonstration. I'm not doing that because that's a little bit more work and soldering and so forth, and I don't want that wreck anything on it. But yeah, that's the FM. Yeah, I suppose I could use put a bandpass PEQ filter in on an EQ if it was connected directly. I think this guy said it's got to be connected actually directly to the sound output amplifier or something, which is true. Because then before it gets to the amplifier, that is the actual audio output, before it connects to the amplifier, and then connects soldered or wired in between. So I could use an equalizer theoretically, and then adjust the put say like one thing comes to mind, put a bandpass filter in, widen the Q bandwidth out, and then just pull, and then just lower it down. But I don't think the radio would go any higher than in frequency above 9 kilohertz. It might only start producing harmonic tone frequencies and such, and those are fake. But I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical whether this is going down to 30 hertz. I mean, I can see how the frequency graph, it just shows up here on the. If I lowered the contrast down on the OLED, you just see it from this distance. But the closer I get, the better you can see it. I'm just curious if I turn down the volume. I know this ripple's going up to that range there. Let me just turn it down and see what the signal noise is. There. Yeah, let me turn the radio off entirely. Okay. Yeah, that's just typical REW computer signal noise ratio I'm seeing there. Of course, the higher the level I turn it up on the CD radio, the higher the level, the higher the frequency is going to go up, because I just turn it up a little bit more on the volume, so it goes up a little bit more higher, doesn't it? But it does seem like frequency limited. It's probably got some very low pass filters in it. There. My cat Bear is being naughty because I'm on the white live stream, and my cat can sense the infrasonic, high frequency ultrasonics, and the EMI and the RF. And I've got to get an EMI RF sniffer to see how much radio frequencies going out from the Wi-Fi. So that's a little bit more louder now because I turned the amplifier level up, or the volume level up on the CD. Anyway, so that's that. Nothing more there to see. Move along now. Move along.